What's going on, YouTube? It's been a few years since Toyota went and made the Highlander grander, and in the time since, its size and features have accelerated it towards the top of the sales chart.
But longtime rivals like the Honda Pilot aren't just sitting around accepting the Grand Highlander's sales growth, which is exactly why they went under the knife for a big refresh for 2026. So is this more competitive Pilot better than something like a Toyota Grand Highlander? That's the question we're here to answer today.
Both the Pilot and Grand Highlander represent their respective brands' ultimate three-row models, and today we'll be comparing the fully loaded trim levels, Elite and Platinum respectively. If you are looking to buy either one, make sure to check out carconfections.com/newcarquotes to get the best price and access to invoice pricing information. Starting with the exterior designs, you'll immediately notice the continued trend toward making family crossovers look tougher and boxier. The Pilot's 2026 refresh adds additional ruggedness, including a beefier lower fascia, larger grille, and silver accents for the Elite model we have today. The Grand Highlander also has a substantial boxy look, with black and chrome accents for the top Platinum. Looks are, of course, subjective, so we won't be scoring that, but we will hit all the individual features. One of the first objective elements is the lighting. Both models have full LED headlights and fog lamps, with the only difference worth mentioning being that the Grand Highlander has a more premium projector style instead of a reflector on the Pilot. By the way, feel free to grab a notepad and keep your own score along the way based on what's most important to you. Moving to the side, fascia updates on the Pilot mean that it's almost equivalent in length to the Grand Highlander now, and both have 20-inch alloy wheels. Toyota also offers a regular Highlander for those wanting something smaller than these two crossovers. Out back, the boxy designs continue, with fewer changes for the refreshed Pilot this year than what you have in the front. For features, they are very similar, with spoilers, exposed wipers, and large branding between the taillights. Speaking of those, all three elements are LED on the Toyota, while the reverse light and turn signals are still incandescent on the Honda. As equipped, both can tow up to 5,000 pounds. When it comes to the mirrors, both have a heating, blind spot monitoring, and power folding. But only the Pilot has the more premium auto-dimming abilities as well. Continuing with safety, both models have their brand's entire safety system suites as standard equipment, including things such as traffic jam assist. The Honda's updates bring some changes to this competition on the inside, so let's get into that. But first,
if you're new here, we're brothers and we've been reviewing cars since we were 12
and 16. We started young, and since then we've reviewed over 2,000 cars at every price point.
No matter what you're looking for, from our long-term vehicle videos to our side-by-side comparisons, we'd love for you to subscribe to be a part of our Car Confections family.
Let's learn a lot and have some fun with all the latest cars. Before hopping inside, let's look at the keys, where both have smart entry systems. But only the Pilot has long-distance remote start from the fob, subscription-free for life. Opening up the doors, both cabins continue to boast class-leading practicality and space. But what about the seats? Well, these two match each other, with real leather finishes, 10 ways of adjustment, heating, ventilation, and memory abilities. There are different color combos depending on the trim and exterior color that you choose. But once inside, we can get into the cabin materials, which we divide into both the material choices and the overall build quality. Both are pretty even when it comes to the materials used, with faux wood trim, leatherette wrapping, and various soft touch padding throughout. But it's the Honda that feels more solid and well put together overall than the Toyota. After startup, you'll see digital gauge clusters on both, though the Grand Highlander's is a couple inches larger. Don't want to look down? Well, both have head-up displays for these top trims. Moving back, they have rain-sensing wipers and heated manual adjusting leather-wrapped steering wheels. Perhaps more important up front is the storage though. So let's talk about the center consoles and extra cubbies offered. Starting with our signature donut test, we can confirm that the Pilot's unchanged console size can fit 23 donuts, while the Grand Highlander can fit the maximum 24 donuts with room to spare. Beyond the consoles, they both have many other cubbies and passenger storage shelves, but the Grand Highlander offers some additional under-console storage as well. These storage cubbies also include standard wireless phone chargers. Moving on, only the Honda has an electronic shifter, but in reverse, both display 360-degree camera systems with good resolution. Then we have 3-zone automatic climate controls, both with easy-to-use physical knobs and buttons. This is very simple compared to a lot of rivals that feature climate buttons inside of displays. Speaking of, let's also look at the physical volume knobs to sample the branded sound systems. While speaker count is almost the same, we prefer the quality and refinement of the Pilot's Bose system. Now perhaps the biggest change in the battle this year is the screens, where Honda finally responded to the complaints and upsized the display. The Pilot now has a 12.3-inch display across the lineup to match the Grand Highlanders in size. Software-wise, both have wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, though the Pilot also includes Google built-in now, giving you Google Maps and more natively. It also has the handy cabin talk feature to make sure the kiddos in the back can hear what you say. Finally, both have auto-dimming rearview mirrors with HomeLink and large panoramic sunroofs. But the Grand Highlander also throws in camera mirror functionality. But how does the packaging play out for these two in the rear? Well, in the second row, it's actually the Pilot that is still larger in measure, though not enough to score a point. Both are huge for this class when it comes to space. For features though, the Toyota has some advantages. While they share climate controls, vents, USB ports, household power outlets, and sunshades, only the GH adds ventilation to the also heated back seats. However, the Pilot has some seating tricks up its sleeve. While the Grand Highlander has a removable center console with cup holders in it, the Pilot has a removable seat that also serves as a console. This allows for on-demand bench or captain chair seating and passenger seating on the top trim, something the Toyota cannot do. Now let's check out the third rows. The seats fold and slide easily, allowing you to get into the back. When you consult the measurements, the Pilot continues with a space advantage in headroom, with a difference enough to score a point. But while the Toyota's legroom isn't quite a 5% advantage, its third row has a clear comfort and thigh support advantage, making its third row the more comfortable place to be. Furthermore, in addition to USBs and cup holders, the GH has air vents in the ceiling instead of the low mounting that is more likely to be blocked. Now for the cargo spaces, both have hands-free power tailgates, and once they open up, the Grand Highlander's packaging genius will finally come into play. It still beats the Pilot in all three seating configurations, making it significantly larger and one of the class leaders. This is a primary reason the Grand Highlander is appealing to so many families. Beyond space, neither have power third rows or handles to fold the second row down from the cargo areas, but you will find spare tires underneath the floors. That's it for the insides, so now let's take this fight to the streets. When it comes to what's under the hoods on both, these two rivals continue to be quite different for 2026. While the Toyota has three unique powertrains with various advantages, none of those are a V6, while the Pilot continues on with a V6 as its only powertrain. We have the comparable all-gas Grand Highlander today, with a turbo 4-cylinder. Power-wise, the Honda has the edge, while the Toyota has the torque advantage. But when the rubber hits the road, the 0 to 60 times are almost identical. Alright, there's our acceleration to 60 miles per hour with the Grand Highlander. So like we mentioned at the spec dump, one of the things that honestly make the Grand Highlander stand out a lot against the competition is that you have a wide variety of powertrain choices, and you can just pick what matches your lifestyle the best. Now what's standard is what we're driving today. This is the 2.4 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine. This makes 265 horsepower and 310 pound-feet of torque. Alright, there we are, taking off to about 60 miles per hour. And of course, you can hear that growl of a V6. So if you didn't tune into part 1 of our review, that's where we told you guys that the V6 sticks around in the 2026 Pilot. As you may know if you've been researching some of the rivals to the Pilot, that's becoming increasingly rare.
Yeah.
A lot of the rivals have gotten rid of their V6 options, and I know a lot of you guys really appreciate having a V6 option as well, and that does indeed stick around for 2026. After acceleration, you might be able to tell that the Pilot's V6 excels more when it comes to noise and refinement. As far as the other elements, the Grand Highlander has an 8-speed automatic transmission, compared to a 10-speed automatic in the Honda. Both are smooth in everyday use, and both have capable all-wheel drive systems as equipped. Now, as far as the transmission is concerned, we've got an 8-speed automatic transmission. This is also nice and smooth and a good partner with this powertrain. Now let's talk about the other aspect of the powertrain, and that's the transmission. This comes with a 10-speed automatic transmission. This is Honda's in-house developed transmission. They've used it in a lot of products, and they have been using it in the Pilot for a few years now. I think it's a pretty good transmission. It doesn't get too confused. When you put your foot down, you wait just a second there, but it can downshift multiple gears at once to give you the power that you need. Now, let's discuss both ride quality and handling characteristics for these family SUVs. Let's start with the all-important ride quality, which both models excel in. Honda and Toyota know that families desire comfort, and these two are certainly among the segment leaders in this category. After spending hours behind the wheel of each one, you will be very happy with either of them. The same goes when you toss them down a back road, as each has nimble steering for a 3-row, and a surprising amount of control through the twisties for this segment.
Also going to be great with the Grand Highlander is your ride quality. So as you saw just there with the bridge abutment, we have really great ride on this vehicle. So we're sitting at 20-inch wheels on the outside. You have really soft and supportive seats up here in the front, and the suspension just does a great job. Now, they're not going to have anything fancy going on with adaptive dampers or anything like that, but they've just really done a good job of tuning the suspension to be exactly what families are wanting. We're just kind of cruising down this beautiful road here, and I want to talk about ride quality for the Pilot. Now, this has always been an area that the Pilot has excelled, and on our time here on the First Drive program, I've been nothing but impressed. We've driven around the Pilot for quite some time, and it does a fantastic job of just soaking up the bumps. I mean, that's exactly what you want out of a family 3-row SUV, and the Pilot just absolutely nails that. You don't feel hardly any intrusion, even if you hit a large road imperfection.
Continuing with comfort, let's talk about the decibel sound level readings. Honda says they've improved the Pilot in this measure, but unfortunately, our reading was taken at a press event in California. While the initial readings seem to support Honda's claim, we will have to wait until we get the Pilot back in Kentucky to compare it against the Toyota directly. Here are the readings for your reference anyways.
Very nicely done. 52.8 decibels is what we are sitting at. 55.5 decibels is what we are sitting at as our sound level reading.
Finally, for fuel economy, the Grand Highlander's 4-cylinder only manages to get 1 mpg better in all ratings over the Pilot, not enough to score a point. However, it does have the choice to purchase much more efficient hybrid variants with up to 36 mpg, while the Pilot does not. In our reviews and comparisons, we're also adding in reliability and resale information to give you a better picture of the overall value beyond just the original MSRP. Beginning with reliability, we developed the Combined Reliability Index, which takes into account several studies from trustworthy sources and combines them in a way that gives you the most realistic picture. In this respect, both of them rate exceptionally well. Honda rated 13 slots above the industry average, giving it plus 2.6 points, while Toyota is 2 slots higher still, as the industry leader, awarding it plus 3 points. Related to that, they have the same warranty coverage, but Honda has 1 year of complimentary maintenance compared to Toyota's 2. We also put Mason's economics degree to work to develop a detailed predicted resale value tool. After 5 years and 60,000 miles, Honda actually has the highest value in the entire auto industry, at 64.79% of expected retained value. Toyota is extremely close behind at 64.5% after 5 years and 60,000 miles. This is too close to award any points. Now let's talk about pricing. It's no secret that prices have been going up across the industry as a whole, which means the midsize 3-row segment is creeping closer and closer to the $60,000 price point. The more expensive Grand Highlander manages to get closer to that mark, after adding in a few of the many options Toyota offers. While the Pilot is more expensive with its refresh, it still manages to be the cheaper of the two. Let's account for the $2,495 price difference using our scale. This will give the Pilot plus 1 point for this fairly price-conscious segment of buyers. If the price, resale, or reliability matters less to you, feel free to disregard these points. So there you have it, the objective winner. Do you agree? Here are a couple things to consider when picking each one for you personally, and then we'll tell you which one we'd put in each of our driveways. For the Pilot, you might consider that if you're looking for more of a solid cabin quality, flexible rear seating, and also the V6 refinement.
Now on the flip side, the Grand Highlander should be your choice if you want more space in the cargo areas. It is really the biggest in the segment. It has more premium lighting on the outside, and it has available hybrid systems. I think that's the really big deal between the two options. Now speaking of the areas where one is excelling over the other, we would encourage you to go to carconfections.com/vehicle rankings. We've looked at all the 3-row midsize SUVs on the market and ranked them in individual categories such as cargo space, rear seat areas, interior luxury, powertrain choices, and value, and you can see the best options in each of those categories depending on what matters most to you. So you can make an informed buying decision by going to carconfections.com/vehicle rankings. Now, which one of these SUVs are we going to put in our driveways?
So for my driveway pick, I would choose the Pilot. I really like that V6 and just the overall execution. I will asterisk that though and say I would probably take a Grand Highlander in the hybrid powertrain if I could get the Hybrid Max, because that one's got the most power and that one is more refined as well.
Yeah, I would have to say I agree with that. To me, the Pilot is kind of worth the sacrifice in fuel economy for the more premium cabin as well as the V6 refinement. And guys, that's going to be where we leave off on this Car Confections comparison. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, we'd really appreciate you subscribing down below. By subscribing, you're going to be a part of our Car Confections family, and we have a lot of fun on this channel, and I promise you won't want to miss out. Additionally, if you're looking to buy either one of these SUVs or any vehicle, we would encourage you to go to carconfections.com/new car quotes as well. The reason you should do that is because we have a tool on our website that will connect you with local car dealers in your area to get you the best price. It's also going to give you access to invoice pricing information, which is a great tool to use while dealership negotiating. If you'd like to take advantage of that, as well as things like our monthly payment tool, you can find a link to that down below in our video description, as well as a pinned comment at the top of this video. Guys, that's all. Hopefully you enjoyed. Thanks so much for tuning in. And if you're already a fan and subscriber, thank you so much for your continued support. We'll catch you next time as we sample more of the latest automotive delicacies.